So gorgeous. Hello my creative friend, Olga Soby here. Welcome to new fluid acrylic painting tutorial. Today I want to work on a rich violet base. I prepare a couple violets. As always, I like to do multicolor base in a similar color palette, and on top of that I want to create a beautiful dancing flow resembling orchid flower. Let's see how that turns out. So without further ado, let's get started. Serenity's secret message today. I think this term, this meaning really fits with the energy of violet and purple colors. So the main color that I have is dark Windsor violet. And this one, something about this color that it dries looking almost black. So to make a nice company for it, I have prepared a few lighter violets. This one is cobalt violet. And this one is oriental violet. See, this one is even lighter and a little bit reddish. So I want to add a few cooler shades. This is sort of like a grayish blue. Working on a pretty big canvas today. It's 20 by 24 inches. I think from here I'm gonna blow it out. I love the reaction, the cell reaction in my base already. All the colors are mixed with my new recipe. As you already know, new course is launching very soon, so don't miss it out. All right, now I'm gonna add colors for the blowout. The base is looking just stunning. Going for diagonal composition in this one. So white on top of white, I want to have some gold. And quite a generous amount. I want to have a lot of this color. It works amazing with violet. Next one here is copper. Some permanent magenta. On top of my magenta, I decided to add a little bit of yellow, and where this yellow overmixes with magenta, it will give me a very pretty orange. Right now, these areas with paint, they look like candy. Look really yummy. I got one that is a little darker. That would give me some nice contrast. I'm not adding it directly over yellow, sort of a little on the side. Finally, some more white. If you got some air bubbles like this from pouring a paint, always torch them and pop them real quickly. You don't need to cook them. Just pop them before you do the blowout because they will fly faster than the rest of the paint and it will create just a weird looking design. So I definitely recommend you to get rid of those before you do the blowout. Okay, let's start with that. Looking beautiful! Ah, so gorgeous. I think this is looking awesome. Oh, look at these parts. I can't, I'm so happy. Okay, first of all, I should have painted my sides before I did this. Usually I do paint sides if I work on a canvas and if I know that I work with violet base. At this time, I was too anxious to start painting, and yeah, I will need to deal with it when the painting is dry because right now it's definitely not looking very pretty. First, I think I'm gonna do the finger swipe. And then I'm gonna do the correction with some of the shapes. Spill some paint, of course. But notice how this dark red, almost brown, it works so well inside of each of these cores of the flowers because it creates contrast and it gives it dimension. Love it! Don't like what I did here. Definitely doesn't fit in with the rest of the painting, so I'm just gonna try to fix it up. If you're new to this method, this is an empty syringe. You're just removing a tiny amount of excess paint without needing to scrape the whole side. Definitely helps to reduce the waste and makes fixing very simple. Tell me, have you tried this method? Let me know in the comments below. Or if you have any other tips and tricks on how to easily fix your painting. Let's share. Okay, this I will need to work on. I need to merge these two lines and I want to create an impression that this line goes behind this flower. I think this way it will just look nicer. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here and let's jump to the next section. I'm gonna do a quick touch up in this area and of course do something about those sides. So see you in a second. The painting is dry and it's time to do a quick touch up. And there is not a lot that I want to change in this piece. It dried so good. It's absolutely stunning. It's just these lines as a part of the dancing flow that I have tremendously overworked during the painting itself. Those need a little bit correction. So I'm using the same exact colors that I used for the pour itself. So they even mix the same way. And there are just very thin lines that I need to adjust. So this is a super detailed work. So if you're gonna do something similar, you will need a super fine brush. I use size 0 and I like to use a round brush for this type of touch-ups. And by the way, I let the painting dry for about a week before I did the touch-up. There was not a lot that I needed to change, so 1 week is sufficient. And of course, I need to work on those sides. Right now, they look, well, quite sad, let's put it this way. So I'm just touching up with the same violets that I used for the pour. And here it is, all done and finished. I finished it with a layer of glossy varnish, and this one is so dreamy, beautiful, and quite moving at the same time. I especially love how my multicolor base turned out. Oh my god, guys, this is definitely my favorite part of this piece. So you can see that the variety of different shades, so one is a little darker, one lighter, this one has a little more of a red undertone in it. And there's not a lot of color contrast between the colors in my base. They're pretty close to each other, but there is a little bit of difference, and that creates just a lot of movement and depth in this piece. Look at all the cells and lacing here and there, and oh my god, the base here, I am in love with it. And of course, on the violet and the purple base, the gold pops super nicely, and the red elements, my magentas, make super striking contrast. You can see that these parts of the blown elements, so the one that are further, they actually quite faded. I would even say they sank in my base quite a bit. And usually I don't really like that, but I think that for this particular piece, it really works because, you know, all these parts, they are so wiggly and they're so moving. It almost looks like some flowers that are floating on the purple waters. So I do love the effect in this one. And there are so many gorgeous details. I love this here. The top is my favorite. I love how it sort of goes off the canvas. Pretty cool. And you can see the touch-up looks super organic here. So never be scared to, you know, change, correct, touch up, or add to your paintings. I know it does take some practice, and sometimes it might feel a little bit intimidating, but if you get used to it, you can really take your paintings to the whole new level. So give it a go. Please let me know, how do you like the outcome for this one? How do you like this multi-purple violet base? I would love to hear from you. As always, I will chat with you in the comments below this video. Thank you so much for joining me today. Give this video a like if you enjoyed this tutorial. Take care, create with passion, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!